Hey everyone, welcome to a special year-end episode of Show Me the Crypto. We like to do these episodes every December. Something fun, something different, some crystal ball gazing into the future. My name is Wade Patterson. I'm joined by my co-host Ulf Lonegren. To anyone who has watched any episodes of ours in the past, thank you for doing so. We appreciate the support. And so let's jump into it, Ulf. But first off, we have some business to discuss from last year.
Sure do.
Because we had a little prediction. So we built a portfolio and we'll throw that up so you can see that on the screen. And this portfolio last year was each of us picking 5 different cryptocurrencies. And we had a budget of $100 per cryptocurrency, and there were rules. We had to pick 2 in the top 150 according 1 to 50 according to CoinGecko, 2 from 51 to 100, and then 1 low cap Hail Mary gem. And I am pulling this up in real time. I'll talk about the date that we're recording this because our portfolios are going to sound really bad because we are in the midst of a crypto dip.
Yeah, so our picks are probably not going to look great. I don't know for sure, but they're probably not going to look great. But that is because we have had a great run up. The bull market, the bull cycle is here. However, just 2 days ago, we had the biggest pullback we've seen all year, probably all cycles so far since the bear market. So things are not looking so hot right now. They've been bouncing back a little bit, so hopefully we're doing okay. But if not, well, it's poor timing, and it is what it is.
So for a refresher, this is the second bet that we had. The first year was a bet whether Bitcoin would cross a certain price threshold. Ulf won that. So he's 1-0 coming into this bet. We're about to find the results. Ulf, you were 2-0. Congratulations.
Woo!
Your portfolio starting at $500 is now worth $572
Ooh, I made some money.
and 29 cents. And mine, embarrassingly, is $493. I lost $7 on my picks. And what's hilarious is as we were making these picks last year, we joked about what are the odds that the value dips below the 500. And you thought for either of us to dip below 500, 2% odds. I said maybe slightly higher than that. So not great, but here's the one, I guess, silver lining to that. On that episode, I had mentioned at the end, so we made our picks and then we talked about a couple extra wildcard picks. And I had mentioned a particular cryptocurrency called Turbo. And had you listened to that advice and not my actual picks, that coin is 25x where it is
That
or
should
where
have
it is
been your
today.
Hail
I
Mary.
know. I would have that coin alone would have won it, but there's no excuses. Ulf, you win. You're 2-0. Now let's get to this year's bets because I have to start digging my way back into this because I will beat you long term in these bets. I'm confident of that. So this year we're doing something different. What we're going to do is we're clearly heading into a bull market. And so we want to shoot our shot at trying to guess what the high will be for 4 different cryptocurrencies, for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for Solana, and for Doge. So we're going to cover all of those coins. So our guess is going to be what the price is that we think each of those will hit and what month we think this will happen. And what we've learned our lesson here in recording the year-end episodes is that usually we record mid-December. So you're keeping that in mind. It's not all the way till the end of 2025. It's until we'll say December 15th, mid-December-ish, whenever we're able to record next year's year-end episode. How the points work. If you're closer in the price, doesn't matter over or under, if you're closer with the top prediction, then you get a point. And if you correctly guess the month that the peak happens, the top price for that coin, you get a bonus point. Is that clear? Did I explain that?
I get it. I think you did a good job.
Okay. So let's start off. Let's jump right into it. Start off with Bitcoin. Why don't you kick us off? Mine are written down. They're on my phone with a few notes on rationales. So I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to steal anything from your prediction. What's your guess and when will it happen for 2025?
I'm going off the top of my head without my phone, but if I need to grab it later, I might. But so far, I know Bitcoin. I'm going with 220,000.
Okay.
That's my price prediction for Bitcoin's high.
Okay.
And I'm I'm predicting that will happen in the month of September.
Ooh, why?
So I do have some rationale here. I think, look, Bitcoin could go higher than that. It could moonshot. It could get into 350. Who knows? It could go lower too. I mean, this is all just guessing. But I do think there is reason to suspect the 200 to 250 range is a conservative, rational estimate based on historical price highs. And this has to do a bit with the growth rate from the lows to the highs each cycle and the percentage increases. And so, yeah, that's my guess. As far as why I'm going with September, I think that might sound strange to some who pay a lot of attention to the 4 year cycle because we've typically seen the highs in December or November. And I'm kind of pulling it back a little bit, but I feel like similarly, if you look back at these 4 year cycles, there is a bit of a trend where the highs are happening for Bitcoin a little earlier each time around. And I will say, even though my guess is September, I do think this is a interesting cycle where things are happening rapidly, and I think it's very possible we could see that high happen by June, even as early as. Now, that's not my guess, but I'm just saying, for anyone who is looking at when things might top out, pay attention. Don't just assume it's gonna happen at the end of the year. Watch the charts, look for things to go. When things are going really crazy, that's a time to take profits and to be careful with your investments.
I like that. That's actually close to what my prediction's going to be. And for myself, I'm saying 198,000, and that I think is going to happen in October. So we're
Okay.
pretty close on the time scale. So here's how I got to that in my head. I'm a big fan of this idea of the 4 year Bitcoin cycle, crypto cycle, bull run happening 6 to 12 months typically after the halving event. That's happened in the past. I know history doesn't always repeat itself, but we have seen this happen enough times that I'm going to keep going with it until I have reason to believe otherwise. But there's also the law of diminishing returns. So if we think about Bitcoin in 2013, the peak was just past $1,000. Then if we went to 2017, it was just about 20,000 or just over that. So that was a 20x. The next run up, so the next cycle, 2017 to 2021, so the previous high being around 20,000, the next was around 69, 70,000. That represented a 3.5x increase. So quite a shrink down. So it doesn't make me think that this bull cycle will be higher than that, but I think it will actually be very close because I think that there's enough with the Bitcoin ETF. I think with just all of the momentum right now that Bitcoin has, the world kind of it landing on the radar. I think that that's going to even out the whole diminishing return. I think 200K is going to be a tough price point to get past. And just like we saw that run up get really close to 100K, I think that it will be similar for 200K for Bitcoin, and everyone will be waiting for it, putting in money for it to blow past, and then that might be the top that we just never get past. Who knows what'll happen? Our guesses are pretty close on this. And the reason for my month, so going back, 2013 and 2017 Bitcoin high both happened in December, and then last bull market 2021 high was in November. So like you said, it's been kind of historically moving a little bit earlier in the year. I think once again we will move 1 month earlier. So that's my prediction, October 198,000.
All right. All right. I like it. I think you're right. It's similar to mine with some different guesses. I think that psychological level of 200K, I see where you're going with that. I agree with it in a sense. I think that could be an area of where there is that sort of psychological challenge to get through. But I also know that when things are going crazy and we are getting to the end, psychological levels, like if there's still a lot of momentum, might not matter. It might just
Yeah.
blow right past it. So
Yeah.
only time will tell.
Only time will tell. Okay, on to Ethereum. So those guesses are locked. Why don't you go first once again? Because I got to collect my thoughts, get the chart up. I'll put it on the max view. So this hopefully helps with some historical information. But what do you think for Ethereum? What's the top going to be and when will it happen?
Sure. So with Ethereum, my prediction is 13,500
Okay.
and my month is October.
All right.
So I have basically, I'll start with the month on this. Why October? Similar to what I stated with Bitcoin, it really derives from that. But I have chosen October because I feel like a lot of the alts, tend to run after Bitcoin. And that's not actually true if you look at when things peaked, say, last time around. They actually both peaked in November, basically at the same time. So I could be way off here. And, when you're reaching the all-time high for the entire bull cycle, it could be that everything just, it hits the top. And as Bitcoin starts crashing, so does everything else with it. But I still thought, you know what? It could play out a little different this time. I'm just going to give it that extra month. And who knows, maybe we're talking September 28th and October 4th. You never know. It could just be days later. So that's my guess for the month. As for the price, my price actually is similar to, that psychological level we were talking about, because I feel like Ethereum could get to 15,000 and potentially beyond. But I think that 15,000 mark will be very, that's a big psychological level, I think. I don't think 10 is a problem because I just think it will have enough momentum to kind of get past that relatively easily. But to get to 15,000 and beyond, not only is that a significant increase from where we are today, but then there is that additional level that is a challenge to get through. So 13.5 I think is a nice number to reach for. So yeah, I'm feeling good about that one.
Did we say not financial advice yet?
This is definitely not financial advice.
Don't trust Ulf and I. I would have lost you
No.
$7 last year had you picked my portfolio. So definitely this is just to noodle on. Let us know in the comments if you think that we're onto something, if we're way off base. Again, my prediction's very close to yours. You went 13.5?
Yeah.
My prediction is $14,300. I think what's important to remember here, and I think that'll happen in November, and I'll explain why in a second. I think what's important to remember, though, when we talk about the peak price, that happens so fast, usually. Like, it will just kiss that price, and then it's down quickly. So, again, not financial advice, but in my experience, sometimes when I'm waiting for what I think might be the peak price to happen, I, in my head, like to have little barriers or levels on the way up. What's a more realistic or conservative price that it'll stick around with for a little while. So do what you will with that information. But I do think that the actual peak will be 14,300. This will happen in November. The reason I think this, in 2 of the last 3 bull runs, ETH has peaked in price 27 days after Bitcoin peaked in price, with the exception of last bull run when it happened 3 days after. So, given that, if my prediction for Bitcoin to peak is October, I think highly likely, based on if it follows those trends from the previous bull runs, I think it could be November this time around. My guess represents a 3x of the previous all-time high from the previous bull run. And similar to what you said, that psychological barrier of $15,000, I think that's going to be a significant thing. And so I think we'll get close, but 14.3 is what my guess is.
Still similar. We got, not too far. That one's actually really tight where, like, for who's going to win that, I mean,
I love
it's
it.
either got to be kind of below or above. The likelihood it lands right in the middle.
Watch, we'll
is
be
pretty
way
low.
off base. It'll hit like 7K or something like that. Okay, so let's jump into Solana. And before I do that, I'm going to pull up. Oh, my portfolio is at 496. I hope by the time we're done recording this episode, I'm back over 500,
Yeah,
just
let's
so
do it.
I don't lose our viewers any money here. Okay, so Solana, what are your guesses?
So Solana, I am actually giving the biggest increase,
Ooh.
at least as far as today. I don't know if that's true as of the last high, but probably. I'm gonna go with $880 for Solana. I think that I think Solana has a lot of steam behind it. Um, this cycle, I think it has just a lot going on. Meme coins, while they are being created on many different chains, Solana is kind of the home of meme coins, and meme coins are having a hell of a year, and I think they're going to continue to blast off next year. So there's a lot in that narrative. Um, Radium, Jupiter, just the ecosystem itself, it's fast, it's easy. I think it's what users want in a blockchain. And yeah, I think it's got a lot going for it. Just the narrative and the community behind it, I can just see it really doing well. So that's my guess for the price for the month. I've actually just picked October as well. I feel like alts, at least these bigger alts, will sort of have a similar top, sort of like top point from a timeline standpoint. So yeah, October it is.
And that's what you said for ETH as well, was October.
Yeah.
If I was not the good, honest person that I am, I would change my answer right now to give me something that would give me a better chance of winning.
This is why we should have gone back and forth the other way, because now you always hear mine first.
Yeah.
You're making this up.
No. You will tell by my guess that I am not making this up. My prediction for Solana is that it will happen in November. So I'm also sticking with the ETH pick. And my rationale based on that was, yes, the previous cycle, the all-time high hit very close. I think alts more or less follow this trend where they typically peak at the same time. $1,800.
1,800. I thought I was going high.
18. That's why I'm not cheating. $1,800 Solana. My big reason for that, I think meme coins will be a massive story of this cycle. I think most of the memes will happen on Solana for all of the reason. I think that this will be a big bull run for the younger generation, the Gen Zers, and I think that they don't care that much about the security, the decentralization, a lot of the really things that people love about Ethereum. I think that they're okay with using Solana. That's not their number one concerns. I think meme coins will drive the narrative, and I think most of that action will happen on Solana. And if we look at the previous all-time high, $250, Solana doesn't have the same history. And so when we talk about like a 3.5x for Bitcoin or a 3x for Ethereum, that's law of diminishing returns again, whereas I think Solana still has that youth where it could hit a really high multiplier. And so it might be a little bit of extreme because market cap wise, we'd be getting pretty crazy high if my prediction is correct, but that's what I think will happen.
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
On to the final one. And again, I'll get you to go first here with Doge. I'm really curious where you went with this prediction.
Yeah, I'm curious where you went too, because Doge is, I think you'll be surprised with my pick with Doge.
Okay, get into it. Doge.
All right, so for Doge, I don't think you'll be surprised by the price, but maybe by the date. I've chosen a prediction of $1.20 for Doge. I think it's again, I'm going with pretty what I feel is a reasonable prediction. I think a lot of people don't think it will make it to $1 this cycle, but if you remember when Doge ran up the last cycle, no one expected it to go as fast and as high as it did when it happened. It was insane. And I think that same thing could happen again. I think the meme coin narrative is strong right now. Doge is the meme coin of meme coins. Yes, it has a gigantic market cap already. And yes, it will be maybe more difficult to see it move like it did. But that's all relative to how many people come in and bet on it. And you've got Elon Musk, you've got Trump, you've got all the Doge community, all the meme gamblers. It has the possibility, I think, with the right catalyst to explode. And I think $1.20 is still a significant guess. Could could it go much higher? For sure. I've seen some other predictions that honestly put it in a way that doesn't look too wild to see Doge going to like $4 or something insane. But I'm going to go with $1.20, which I think for a joke dog coin is pretty good. And I think a lot of people will make a lot of money if that happens. As for my date, so this is where it's a bit of a curveball. I'm going to go with March.
Mm.
And March is only a few months away. Like March is around the corner.
Yep.
And the reason I'm going with March is a bit of just a random month. But I think there is some logic behind this. If you look back, Dogecoin's previous all-time high here was in May. And why was it in May? I don't even know specifically. Again, I think it was just whatever catalyzed that. I'm sure there was something in the moment, news or Elon or something. But my point is that I think Doge runs a little differently than the main alts, and I think it's gonna blow up when it blows up. I think meme coins are gonna have a big blow up coming soon, much sooner than say the fall next year. And so I think it could be March, and I don't know exactly what it'll be. It could just be all meme coins taking off, but yeah, that's my guess. 120 in March.
Yours and my research and thoughts around this have actually been similar on a lot of these points. And maybe it's me learning something from you after the last couple of years of you winning these bets. I don't know. I agree with everything you just said. My guess is 1 month different. I think April, which has kind of been trending. I think every guess we've had, I'm typically like 1 month later.
Yeah.
Every single month, I've been 1 month later than your guesses.
True.
So we're very similar here. That could be close. I agree with every single thing you said. The only thing I disagree with is your price.
You're going higher.
420, baby.
Oh,
420.
Yeah.
$4.20 Doge, which would be insane market cap. Insane. Like it wouldn't even make sense. But guess what else didn't make sense? We have the chart up right here. Look at the run up that Doge had. The last bull run was a 40x. A 40x from the previous all-time high. A $4.20 Doge would be less than it would be like a 7x or something from the previous. So that's kind of where I was with the Solana, a 7x. I'm doing the same with Doge. The challenge I run into here, I was talking to another friend about this, is the market cap just gets so big that it like starts to not totally make sense. But hey, everything else will go up as well. And I could see that happening earlier in the year, which sort of helps fuel the rest of the crypto market. So overall, we're kind of close. Price prediction, Solana, Doge, a little bit ways away, but I like it. Okay, so into the final part, and that is your coin that is outside of 150 that you think will be top 100.
All right, so this is my, I will say this is a bit of a Hail Mary in my eyes. But that's part of why I picked it. I think it could happen. Do I think it's likely to happen? Not necessarily. But I also just like the pick. There's something about it that I like. And it's going back into this meme coin thought process around what could really take off. And I'm going to go with Dog Go to the Moon. Dog Go to the Moon is, if you don't know, it's runes on Bitcoin. It's a inscription based.
Hold up.
Meme coin.
144.
Well, they're not supposed to pick between 100 and 150?
150 and up. I'll give you it, though. That's close. That's close to 150. I'll give you it.
Okay,
yeah.
That was a misunderstanding, but
it's all
fair
good.
Enough. I am pretty close, and I still feel like this is a bit of a long shot.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
So, okay, that was my bad.
No, it's close, though. It's totally fair. Give it 5 minutes. It'll be outside 150.
Yeah.
These fluctuate.
But yeah, Dog Go to the Moon, if you don't know, again, I'm probably explaining it a little wrong because I'm not that into, like, I don't own any Dog Go to the Moon. I don't have any runes or Bitcoin inscription NFTs, so this is a little bit out of my realm of knowledge. But what I do know is that this is like the original sort of meme coin on runes, and it's headed up by Leonidas, who's a really big NFT collector, and he's sort of spearheading this whole thing. I believe he created it. And I think it's got a lot of staying power being Bitcoin's thing versus, all these other, it's not another L1, it's not an Ethereum meme coin, it's not Solana, not Sui, not anything else. It's Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has a strong cult following. And I think as memes pick up, Bitcoin's going to continue to pick up. I think this could go to the moon.
I like it. I like it. It's a good pick. I don't know a lot about it. I'm going to have to look more into it. And for my pick, I am learning my lesson from last year. The mistake I made, and watch, I might be over 155. So they're very close in market cap here. Turbo Toad token. The story about it, gentleman who wanted to basically used AI, asked ChatGPT, I want to create the best meme coin in the world. How do I do that? Followed ChatGPT's instructions in the early days of AI. This was around the time Pepe was really popping off. And this thing has flown. As I mentioned, we talked about Turbo last year. It was around 700 something market cap. Today it's at 155. I think it will continue to go that way because it checks two of the major, in the middle of the Venn diagram of memes, which we think will be a theme of this bull run, and AI, it is right there. It's got a good story. I like Turbo. I think it'll sneak up there. The question is, will it have the staying power? Especially, that's the tricky part for both of our guesses. If we're predicting Doge is going to peak early in the year, is it going to stick around then later on? Because this isn't just get into the top 100.
Yeah,
it
gotta
needs
be
to be
there
in the top 100. So how we're going to score this, again, closest prediction to the actual price is a point. If you guess the month correctly, because we had different guesses on every single month, so that's a bonus point. And then if our coin moves from either 144 or 155 into the top 100, that is another bonus point. Ulf, any final thoughts on what has been an interesting year in crypto 2024 and thoughts heading into 2025?
Yeah, a couple things I just want to get off my chest first. I was going to pick Turbo. That was going to be my
but
pick.
it wasn't in the top 150.
No, well, I thought we were just going anything
Right,
after.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't know. I got that wrong, but I did look at Turbo. It was going to be my pick.
Yeah.
But no, went with Dog Go to the Moon. Also, I'm just realizing now that we chose these coins, and like you said, they have to be going into the top 100 December next year. And according to our bets, everything will be crashing by that time. So there's like very slim chance any of this gets in the top 100, but we will see. As for my thoughts on 2024, yeah, it's been a crazy year for crypto because it's basically been a bull market the whole time. Not like it is right now. Like things have really picked up in the last couple of months and they're starting to go insane. But we did see continual increases throughout. We saw a huge slow period at the same time throughout like the sort of spring and summer and even going into the fall. So there was this period of, is this ever going to happen? And then here we are and it's happening. But I would just say to those listening and watching who, if you're new to crypto or you haven't been holding your crypto bags for too long, know that there are going to be big dips on the way up. You're going to see some crazy gains and then you'll see crazy losses. And that's why it's important to take profits out along the way. It's important to realize your gains. And if you put money on the side, then you can put it back in when things are looking good. So do be careful with your investments. And of course, none of this is financial advice. I'm just saying this from someone, through my own outlook for my own investments. But do be careful with your investments. As for next year, I think it's going to be super exciting. I think this is what we always wait for. We go through 3 years of waiting and we finally get that fourth year where things get really exciting. So I'm just looking forward to it. I'm going to try and sort of, stay close to the news and everything happening in the crypto space because things change so fast. There's going to be narratives that come and go within a matter of weeks. And I think if you stay on top of that, you can sort of make the most of this bull run. So that'd be some of my advice and just, what I'm looking to do here.
I keep refreshing my portfolio. It's at 495.38. I'm just
You're
hoping
looking
we
for that
surpass
bump.
500. I'll be choked if it actually happened at some point and I didn't catch it. Great words of advice, all. Yeah, when I look back 2024, it was interesting, right? Because we almost had this fake out of we had a run up in November, December of 2023, and then that had everyone questioning, are we getting away from the traditional 4-year bull run cycle? What's happening? And then we had, of course, the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, and a lot of traditional money coming into the space. And then, of course, the election toward the end of the year, which really kind of spurred things into motion. And now we seem like we are in a bull run. But Ulf is correct in what he's saying is that it is a bumpy ride. It's fun to look back, especially as what has happened over time. Nobody knows exactly how these things will play out. We can guess based on history, but the reality is every bull run tends to be a little bit different. And so just be careful out there, you know, not financial advice clearly from somebody who doesn't have a strong portfolio, but you never want to put in money that you can't afford to lose or to get in those types of situations. So be smart. Also, protect your mental health a little bit. Sometimes it can be really tempting to just be refreshing those charts all of the time and not leaving your computer screen. Go out, get some fresh air. Life will go on, but at the same time, enjoy it. And we hope that our content has helped educate you. We don't stick to one particular chain or one particular concept. We like to talk about a lot of different things happening in the space. And we know our following is small, but it's a dedicated following. So thank you if you've watched episodes in the past, done anything to support our channel. It truly, truly means a lot to us. We have a blast putting on this show, doing great interviews. And that's my prediction for 2025. I think this will be a great opportunity for us to continue to have great interviews with people doing amazing things in the space and learn more. Hopefully, you learn more as well through those. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you don't miss those great future interviews, that future content that is coming. But sincerely, thank you for all of the support. We truly appreciate it. And I've been trying to stall enough time. I'm not going to make it 496, just shy of it. That's what happens. But thank you, everyone. We
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much, guys. Appreciate it.